Elite League is pleased to publish its full roster, transfer and suspension regulations for season 2021-22. The rules were voted on by the league's 10-member teams. Player classifications. Players in the Elite Ice Hockey League are classified as either homegrown or non-homegrown. The definition of a homegrown player is a player who, irrespective of their nationality or age, has been registered with either their current club and/or a club and/or any other ice hockey club affiliated with Ice Hockey UK, English Ice Hockey Association or Scottish Ice Hockey, for a period, continuous or non-continuous, of 2 seasons or 24 months prior to his 18th birthday, or the end of the season during which they turn 18. Overall roster. The total number of players that can be registered in a single season by one team, including two-way players, is 28. The total number of non-homegrown players that a team may register to their overall roster during one season is 20. Game day regulations. A game day roster is comprised of a minimum of 12 skaters and 2 netminders. A maximum of 17 skaters and 2 netminders. On all game day rosters, a maximum of 14 non-homegrown players are allowed. There is no limit on the number of homegrown players. Transfer regulations. As per the overall roster regulations, following the initial registration of a team, up to 5 p.m. on the 22nd of September 2021, a team is permitted to make a limited number of changes to the number of non-homegrown players on their roster. If 15 non-homegrown players are initially registered, the number of changes permitted is 5. If 14 non-homegrown players are initially registered, the number of changes permitted is 6. If 13 non-homegrown players are initially registered, the number of changes permitted is 7. If 12 non-homegrown players are initially registered, the number of changes permitted is 8, and so on. Note: one change is automatically reserved for an emergency goalie after the EIHL transfer deadline has passed. All teams must keep this change open and available. Injury reserve. A team is permitted to place an injured player on injury reserve, subject to sufficient documentation and medical reports being passed to the head of hockey operations. When placed on injury reserve, the injured player is automatically unavailable to ice in EIHL competitions for 21 days regardless of the length of the injury. The team may sign an additional replacement player for 21 days that does not count as an official change. Note: a team may backdate the 21-day period to the date on which the player was injured, rather than the date on which it was decided to place him on IR, subject to supporting medical documentation. Such information will be recorded when submitting the injury reserve form. Players placed on IR, and any replacements signed, will be communicated on the EIHL website. After the 21-day injury reserve period has finished, the replacement player is only eligible to continue playing if the team registers them using one of their official changes. Example 1. John Smith is injured, and the Manchester Storm place him on injury reserve. Chris Jones joins the Storm as a replacement player for up to 21 days. After the 21 days have passed, the Storm choose to keep Chris Jones, therefore using one of their official changes. Example 2. John Smith is injured, and the Manchester Storm place him on injury reserve. Chris Jones joins the Storm as a replacement player for up to 21 days. After the 21 days have passed, the Storm release Chris Jones. John Smith returns to the lineup, and their number of official changes remains unaffected. Suspensions. In the 2021-22 season, a suspension issued by the EIHL Department of Player Safety (DOPS) will only count towards the player. It will not affect the team's overall roster strength. For clarity, the suspension of a non-homegrown player will not reduce the team's maximum number of non-homegrown players on the game day roster 14.